Kyle Skinner, Des Moines, Iowa. I've been in the program early on in my third month. I wasn't in Joe's program very long until I made my first deal. It wasn't a no money down or a subject to deal. I own quite a bit of my own property, and I used Joe's rent to own, lease option information, his paperwork and everything, to start selling, sell/rent some of my own property using that method, and it's just been a great way for me to fill my properties and make money, a little bit upfront money as well. And that kind of spilled into kind of a whole new business that was never really a part of my real estate business to begin with, as I started filling some of other people's homes with my rent-to-own buyers. So it's been really good for my business, my buy and hold business, but it also is kind of branching me out in another direction in real estate too. So it's been pretty cool. The best deal that I did, I haven't done a lot of the subject to. I'm still in the process of trying to figure out the auto marketer. I'm not a real tech guy, so that's been a little bit of a slow process for me. But my best deal was a combination of a subject to and a rent to buy, where I bought a property that was an expired listing as a subject to, where I went in, took over their mortgage. This was a really small deal. It was a $40,000 house. It actually had been listed for $52,000 and then dropped to $49,000. Then it expired. I picked it up, $40,000 on the subject to deal. I then put a rent to buy owner in on the lease option. I made $3,000 on that. Then I flipped the whole deal to an investor for another $5,000. He took over it. So I was in and out on a $40,000 house with $8,000. So that's a pretty good deal on that small of a house. Most of my deals right now are just the lease option. I've not really got into the subject to deals as much as I'm going to. But on those lease options, I'm putting about $3,000 in my pocket on those deals. On the lease options, I am closing deals fairly routinely, I guess. I've done 8 of them in a little less than 3 months. And that's a little bit deceptive, because a lot of those were my properties. Half of those roughly were my properties. So, but I would say, yeah, I am pretty consistently doing some deals. The impact that it's had, I guess, on me, it's gotten me excited again about real estate, because I've been doing it for 20 years, a little bit stagnant, I guess, on my new ideas and whatever. And this is kind of real estate, can take you in a lot of different directions if you'll let it. And this is something that's really leading me into a direction that's fun. Put some money in my pocket. I feel it's really enhancing my overall real estate business, definitely. I do plan on quitting my job. My job, though, I'm a real estate guy. I have a real estate appraisal company that I've owned for 20 years. I've been a real estate investor for 20 years. So I do want to put the real estate appraisal business in my rearview mirror. That's really where I've fallen behind, is on the, I see the value in the automation and the auto marketer that Joe teaches, and I know that I got to get on that train or get ran over, and that's what I'm doing here this weekend, is trying to get myself up to speed on the automation and the leads that are given, they're extracted out of the market through this program.